Hello, folks. Welcome to another show in the blink of an eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. We want to thank God and thank you for the opportunity to serve you. We're now on our 49th year. Can you imagine that? 49 years. Soon we'll be celebrating 50-year anniversary, and we're going to have some wonderful surprises for the community. In the meantime, we want to welcome you today to today's show, and I'm here at Weslaco, and we're going to be speaking with our manager from Weslaco, David Muniz, who will be joining us shortly. In the meantime, if you're getting ready for that summer getaway, school's out, keep practicing what you need to do to stay safe. You know, a lot of things have leveled off as far as the pandemic goes, but we still need to be careful. But if you're planning a getaway, make sure you bring your car over to Pueblo Tires so we can check the tires, the oil, windshield wipers, the lights. Just give it a 7-point inspection that we call it. It's free. And if there's anything that needs attention, we'll gladly bring it to your attention. And of course, you have the last word. But it's always better to prevent than to lament, right? So today's show, in the blink of an eye, with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez, and David Muniz, our manager from Weslaco, we're going to be talking about services, about financing options. We're going to be talking about lift kits, leveling kits, tires, wheels, preventative maintenance, and much more. And we also want to remind you that we have 13 locations to serve you. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we have 13 locations. You can look us up on shampoozy.com, and we're there to serve. Again, welcome to another show in the blink of an eye, and stay with us. We'll be back just like that.
What do you mean get it while it's hot? That's right, our hot summer package deals save you money. Get a set of 17-inch tires for only $360 or a set of 16-inch tires for only $320 smackaroos. Dance!
¿Cómo compras tú para tu padre?
Rete fácil, papaquetazos en todo junio. 4 llantas de 17 pulgadas por solo $360. 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $320 maracas. ¡Que bailen!
Welcome to In the Blink of an Eye with Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. Today I'm here in Weslaco at our store in Pueblo Tires and Service here in Weslaco with David Muniz, our manager. David Muniz, thank you for having us. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Ben. Thank you for the invite. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Well, David, we're going to pick your brain today, okay?
Okay.
You're a man with 34 years of experience at Pueblo Tires. Started off as a technician and worked his way up to manager. I don't say up to manager because technician is a very vital, position at Pueblo. And but I think David, along the way, decided he wanted to manage because technician was your first passion, correct?
Yes, I've been working on cars since I was, you're not even a teenager. My dad, we used to do our own stuff, and
So is that where you picked up a lot of?
Yes.
And you got the fever for?
Yeah.
So how long did you work as a technician, approximately?
With the company, I worked 6.5 years as a technician doing suspension, steering, brakes, and air conditioning.
Okay, and then then you transitioned into manager, assistant, or sales?
Correct. From there, I went to sales, and from the sales, moved up to the management position.
And you've been here ever since?
Ever since, yes. A total of like 33, 34 years.
They say that once you get tires into your blood, you can't get out of it,
No, it's one of those things where, like, for example, people come into the store, rubber smells, when in time, there's always the tires that, they do smell, the rubber.
Right.
I get in the store in the mornings, I don't even smell it.
It's in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Well, I've got here an encyclopedia.
What?
A World Book Encyclopedia. Back in the day, we used to use this when I was in junior high school. This is from 1988. I want to read something to you about the automobile. It says, the story of the automobile is one of the most important and exciting chapters in the history of transportation. During the 1890s, automobiles were so new and so strange that they were shown in circuses. Today, approximately 340 million passenger cars travel on the highways of the world. Millions of people use their automobiles to help them earn a living or to travel for pleasure. Most of the world's automobiles are in the United States and Canada and Japan and Western Europe. So this is from 1988, David. 340 million passenger cars travel on the highways on any given day back in 88. So can you imagine today? And the story of how in the 1890s the automobiles were so new and strange that they were even displayed in circuses. Now today, and David, our manager here in Weslaco, started his career here at Pueblo back in the mid-'80s sometime.
Yes.
And here you are 34 years later. David, you've seen a dramatic change in the automobiles. We've talked a little bit off the air how one of the biggest changes in automobiles, and this talking about automobiles back how they were strange back in the 1890s. Well, today's automobiles, you know, can you imagine somebody from the 1890s coming in today's world and look at today's vehicles with all the sensors, all the electronics? It'd be something amazing to them. And speaking of that, with David Muniz's help, we're going to talk about that, about services, about financing options for you. We have 13 locations to serve you. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can look us up on the web, shampoozy.com. We have all kinds of tires, all kinds of wheels, all kinds of services. And we're talking with David Muniz, our manager here in Weslaco, who's been in the business for 34 years. So he knows what it takes to be a technician. Even in today's world, David, now the technicians of today are you know, I guess with everything else, they've had to take a lot of schooling to keep up with the changing times. And I mean, you went to school, right?
Yes, definitely.
How long you were in school? What, in the late 70s or what?
Yes.
And you graduated certified automotive technician.
Right. Back then, yeah, I also took ASE certifications.
Okay.
I did that in Harlingen back at the time. And at that time, I mean, there were some computers, some sensors, not even close to what it is at the present time. Right now, they have sensors all over the place.
So let's just imagine if you were a graduate when you graduated from then, and they were to put you in a shop today, would that David from that graduated, would he know how to deal with today's cars with that education you received back then?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I mean, the computerized system that there is right now to what it was back then is totally different.
Right.
Totally different.
Well, it says here during the 1890s, automobiles were so new and strange. So imagine today in the year 2021. Our vehicles today, there are vehicles, David, that are capable of driving themselves. Sensors, electronics, even tires have sensors. So all kinds of modern changes. But in spite of all that, your car still needs preventative maintenance. Your tires still need to be rotated. They still need to be balanced. They still need the proper air pressure. And when it comes to your oil change, it's equally as important to make sure you change it at the given recommendation by the factory, because otherwise, you know, your car could break down and leave you stranded. And if you follow the maintenance, process, you're going to be able to extend the life of the components of your vehicle, whether it's the engine, the water pump, the tires, the belts, the hoses. Everything can last longer with proper maintenance. I'm here with David Muniz, manager at Weslaco. David, what's the address here?
720 North Texas Boulevard, Weslaco, Texas.
And the phone number?
956-968-8473.
There you go, folks. And if you're making plans to go on a summer getaway, make sure you come back because we got some vital information for you. We'll be back in the blink of an eye.
How do you shop for Dad?
Folks, Papa deals all through June. Get a set of 17-inch tires for only $360 or a set of 16-inch tires for only $320 smackaroos. Shampoozy.
¿Cómo que compra mientras está caliente?
Paquetes de llantas ardiendo todo el verano. 4 llantas de 17 pulgadas por solo $360. 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $320 maracas. ¡Que bailen!
We're back in the blink of an eye. I'm here with David Muniz, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan. We're talking about your automobile. We're talking about preventive maintenance. services. We're talking about locations. We're on our 49th year, David, as a company. Thank God and thank the community for giving us that opportunity to serve the community for 49 years. Soon we'll be reaching 50 years, God willing, and we're going to have some wonderful surprises for the community when that happens. But today, David, as I started the show, we said we've got the World Book Encyclopedia from 1988. I don't know if these books are still used today, David, but I find it fascinating. Back in my day, we had to use some of these for homework and certain projects. And we read here. Let me read something else. When it comes to choosing a new car, it's a shopping adventure that may involve the entire family. Many families consider one car or even two a necessity. So let's talk about that, David. I know you have you have your faithful customers that come to you, on a regular basis throughout the year, but at the same time, you're always making new customers. Do you find that a lot of these customers of yours, do they have more than one vehicle? Are you able to, kind of estimate that?
Yes, most of the people right now, do have, I want to say at least two vehicles right now. As a person, goes off to work and then you can't leave the family, or the other person needs to go to work as well. Of course, they need a vehicle. Right now, it's very essential. I mean, everybody, for example, personally, just me and my wife at home right now, the kid's already gone. She goes to work and I go to work. Of course, we need two vehicles, and we need to keep them maintained,
right,
so they can last longer for us,
right,
which is, what we try to do here for our customers as well.
And, that's something you touched on in today's modern society. In most cases, both husband and wife work. There's more women that are professional than back in the 60s, per se. And they drive. They have their car. They go to their work. So it is consistent to say that most families have at least two cars, and they find it a necessity. And like it says here, it's a shopping adventure. And when it comes to mine, David, for many folks, their car is like their baby, right? When somebody brings you their car, regardless of the age of the car, sometimes there's an emotional attachment to that car. It might have been the first car that they drove their first child from the hospital after he was born. So there's an emotional tie to your vehicle at times. So we understand that, and that's why we want to do everything we can to help you keep that car going. We have a saying here: "Show me the baby." Remember that?
Yes.
Show me the baby. And by that we mean, that it's so important that, when women go through labor pains, there's a lot of tears sometimes, but when the baby's born, a lot of joy, right? They say, "Show me the baby." So here at Pueblo, we want to show you the importance of maintenance when it comes to your car. But on top of all that, David, like it says here, 340 million passenger cars travel on the highway of the world on any given day. I mean, this is back in 1888 when this was written. So can you imagine today now? Obviously, we're living in different times. The pandemic put a halt to a lot of that this past year. There was a lot of cars that were parked. A lot of businesses were shut down. But thank God that things are opening up again. But in spite of all that, we were open. We were an essential business, and we were privileged to being classified as that, because we were here, and we want you to know that we're here for you. Then we had a freeze, David. Now, in your time living, you're originally from the Valley, right?
Well, raised here, yes. I was born in Michigan, so.
Michigan?
Yes, sir.
You're a Michigan boy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
When,
so you're a Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's why you got that mustache going.
Back in the day, we're farm workers, my mom and my dad.
Yeah. Well, that freeze was also unprecedented. It never happened like that in the whole state, and that caused a lot of problems. And when it comes to your car, heat, we always said it, heat is the number one enemy of your car, but equally as dangerous and harmful is cold. And so for that, we just want to remind you, if you're making plans to go on a summer getaway, school's out, maybe there's a few kids that are in summer school, but if you're making plans to get a summer getaway and get away from the valley, I mean, not that the valley, nothing wrong with the valley. A lot of people come to the valley during vacation, but if you're from the valley, you want to go up north, maybe go visit some folks in Michigan, Indiana. I got people in Indiana, and I'm making plans to go up there and drive up there. If you're making plans like that, we encourage you to come over to Pueblo, any of our 13 locations. And David and his staff, you're going to do what is called a 7-point inspection. What does that detail, David?
Correct. What that is being, we'll check all the, the lights on the vehicle, make sure that they are working, your turn signals, your stoplight. That's very important, especially if you're going to travel at night as well. Check the wipers on it, your fluids. Make sure that everything's up to level where it's supposed to be at before you take a trip, because you don't want, the last thing you want is being stranded on the highway.
Yeah, and David, I'll say this by personal experience. Just recently, I took a trip to Indiana. Me and my wife, we drove up there, and I flew back, and she's still up there as this show is being aired. She's visiting with my mother-in-law, and let me tell you, when you go through cities like Houston, you want to make sure your car is running good, man, because everybody's speeding. You want to make sure your brakes are in good condition, your lights working, because it's a hassle there. It's a mad world in the big cities, and then you also come to spots where there's construction, and sometimes you have to make sudden stops, so you never know. So you want to make sure your car is in proper condition, your brakes, your lights, everything. We ran into some rain in the state of Missouri. We had a pretty good strong rain, so I was thankful that our windshield wipers were working properly. That's another thing. So you check all that during the
Yes, we're there.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, folks, we're in the blink of an eye here, and we're talking about cars, and we're talking about service, maintaining your car, proper condition. We also offer financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. Just come by, or you can apply online, or come visit David here in Weslaco, and we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk more about automobiles.
What do you mean get it while it's hot? That's right, our hot summer package deals save you money. Get a set of 17-inch tires for only $360, or a set of 16-inch tires for only $320 smackaroos. Dance!
¿Cómo compras tú para tu padre?
Rete fácil, papaquetazos en todo junio. 4 llantas de 17 pulgadas por solo $360. 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $320 maracas. ¡Que bailen!
Welcome back to In the Blink of an Eye with Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan, with David Muniz, manager here at Weslaco in Weslaco. David, you've been with the company approximately 34 years, started as a technician, and David, you still have a passion for vehicles, correct?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's in the blood, so...
But I think it gives a satisfaction to help somebody. They bring in their car, their baby. There's an emotional attachment, and you wanna do a job where they can go, and you did a good job. They're safe, and they're gonna enjoy their vehicle. Let me read something to you here. The wide use of automobiles has brought about many well-known features of life in the United States. They include motels, shopping centers, superhighways, and several kinds of drive-ins, restaurants, movie theaters, and banks. I don't think there's a whole lot of drive-ins these days, but there are restaurants, hotels, shopping centers, but all these is possible for people to get away with their automobile. And with your automobile, you can quickly get away for a weekend trip, for example, go to Houston, San Antonio. I'm talking about if you live here in the Valley. Cars take them to their favorite spots where they can fish, where they can hunt, where they can ski, hike, sightsee, or just rest. Many millions of families enjoy taking long vacation trips by automobiles. This is back in 1988. This is the World Book Encyclopedia. I don't think that's changed much. People enjoy taking trips. And would you say, David, we've been in the pandemic, a lot of people have been locked down, and now people are ready to travel, man. They want to get away, they want to, I went to Indiana, I flew back, by the way, in the plane, and, you wear your mask, you take all the precautions, and, by the grace of God, everything's fine. You just got to be careful. Don't be careless out there. But when it comes to your automobile can bring you a lot of satisfaction. It can take you to work, and like David said, him personally, you have 2 cars. What does your wife drive? A pickup or a car?
SUV.
SUV.
Yes.
Okay, and like we mentioned at the beginning of our show, today there's a lot more women shoppers. Because there's a lot more women working. And we say with all due respect, but women are very detailed when it comes to their vehicles. They want everything to be just right. So we're here to help you. Whether you're going long distance, short distance, come by to Pueblo and we'll take a look at your car. Now, David, let's just run over real quick. mentioned in prior talks and other times that you can't carry every tire there is, but if you don't have it, you can get it. You carry name brand tires. We're not specifically name brand, but we carry the BF Goodrich, Michelin. We can have those tires, Goodyear, Toyo, Falcon, and if we don't have it, we'll get it. What is the tire that moves more here in this market? Passenger, light truck, all-terrain, high speed. What is it that you see that moves more here?
We do have a variety of all-terrain, but mainly what people come in asking for is like a highway type, all-season tire, nice ride, quiet, that is going to last for you.
It's gonna last.
Yeah, because there's tires right now, they go up to 75,000 miles. You just keep your rotation, your balancing,
Right.
your alignment, and that tire will go the expected mileage.
That's so important that you hear that again. If your tire is rated for 70,000 miles, you must follow the maintenance process.
Yeah.
You rotate, balance. When you sell a set of new tires, and you ask them, you got to come back, right, for the rotation. Does it vary depending on the automobile at what time they need to come back for a rotation?
Yes, our recommendations is every 6,000 miles.
Every 6,000 miles.
And if you buy the tire from us, we will do the maintenance for you at no additional cost. What that means is we'll rebalance them, rotate them for you. If you happen to get a flat on that tire or a puncture, we will repair it as well if it's repairable at no extra charge. So the only thing you need to do is just bring it back at here at the Weslaco location, or regardless at any Pueblo Tires where the tire was purchased. They'll do the same service for you at no additional charge.
There you go. So, folks, whatever you're driving, whether it's a car, pickup, SUV, we can help you. And if it's something that is not our specialty, we'll be honest and tell you that's not our specialty. There are certain things that it's not our specialty. We can't handle it. There are certain things that you have to take it to a dealer. It's just the way it is because they're designed by manufacturers, and only certain things like, for example, the scanning aspect of a vehicle. Sometimes that scanning process has to be done at a dealership because based on the year, make, and model of that vehicle. But other than that, we have a scanner here. We do that as well with a lot of vehicles today, especially like you said, the electronics that has advanced so much today, scanners for just about everything. So your car is like a walking computer or a computer on wheels.
No, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. That computer tells it's the brain.
It's the brain,
The
right?
brain of the vehicle. It tells it what to do. What to turn.
Yeah.
For example, you put your turn signal on. It tells it to flash outside. You hit your gas pedal. Or not, they're electronic now.
Right.
They don't have cables. They don't have nothing. So when you push down on your gas pedal, it has a sensor in there that'll send it to the computer and make that vehicle go.
Okay, folks, so again, thank you for joining us. David Moniz, manager here at Weslaco, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back to say goodbye.
How do you shop for Dad? Folks, Papa deals all through June. Get a set of 17-inch tires for only $360 or a set of 16-inch tires for only $320 smackaroos. Shampoozy.com.
¿Cómo que compra mientras está caliente?
Paquetes de llantas ardiendo todo el verano. 4 llantas de 17 pulgadas por solo $360. 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $320 maracas. ¡Que bailen!
And we're back in the blink of an eye, and we've been talking with David Moniz, our manager here at Weslaco Store. He's been with the company for over 34 years, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and we talked about a lot of changes that have happened with cars. Tires, that's another thing that's changed dramatically from back in the 80s for today. I mean, I remember we had a 14, 15, now you got it up to what, 28s? so many different sizes, David, when it comes to tires.
Oh yeah, right now it's amazing, you know, the sizes of the tires where the industry has gone. There's 13, we used to have a lot of 13s, 14s, and 50s, and that was it.
That was it. That was
Right
that
now.
was the peanut butter and jelly back
Yeah,
then.
right now, I mean, we do have some 13s, 14, and 15s, but mainly it's the bigger wheel out there, you know, the more popular sizes, like when you go to 18s, 19s, 20s, 22s, original equipment already, that they're coming out from the factory with a bigger wheel.
You know, folks, keep in mind with the price of gas going up lately, it's important to keep your car in good running condition so you can save fuel, proper air pressure, rotating balance. David and his staff at all our Pueblo Tires will ready to help you and diagnose if there's a problem with your car. And don't forget, we have financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. 13 locations to serve you. Look us up on shampoozy.com. David, some final words.
Yes, just thank you all very much. And if you need something, just a simple air pressure check. If you need some nitrogen topped up, just go ahead and bring it by. We'll be more than happy to check it out for you and put the proper PSI that's required from the manufacturer on your vehicle. So come check us out. Our phone number here is 956-968-8473, and we are at 720 North Texas Boulevard, Weslaco, Texas.
Okay, folks, so again, thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve you. 49 years serving the community, and we just want to leave you with this thought. Nobody but nobody, and we say that with pride, but with humble pride, that nobody loves you, cares more about you than Pueblo Tires and Service. Nobody.
What do you mean get it while it's hot? That's right, our hot summer package deals save you money. Get a set of 17-inch tires for only $360 or a set of 16-inch tires for only $320 smackaroos. Dance!
¿Cómo compras tú para tu padre?
Rete fácil, papaquetazos en todo junio. 4 llantas de 17 pulgadas por solo $360. 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $320 maracas. ¡Que bailen!